All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Justin. I'm super excited. This is my first assignment for our master's course. So, this is going to be the Educational Leadership Assessment presentation. This is a reflection over the articles that we were assigned to read. Before I get started, I do want to share a little bit about myself just so you can get to know me. My hometown is Fall River, Kansas. It's a really small town in southeast Kansas. We have approximately 50 people in our hometown. I am a dog dad to two beautiful bulldogs, Otis and Gus. I enjoy all things traveling and grilling, and I love a good game of gin rummy. And then my favorite thing to do, though, is just spend time with my family and my friends. My educational journey, I graduated from Kansas State University in 2016 with my bachelor's in elementary education and an emphasis in math. Um, After college, I moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, and I started teaching in Clark County School District. My first position out there was a fifth grade teacher. I did that for 2 years, and then after that, I moved to middle school, and I was a double accelerated math teacher for sixth graders. The COVID pandemic hit, and I just felt a calling to come back and be closer to family. So then I accepted a third grade position at Tanglewood Elementary in the Derby School District. At Tanglewood, we have about 454 students, and we are at 27% free and reduced lunches. The biggest challenge for me during a pandemic was definitely just being prepared for all of the unknowns. I felt like I never really knew what was going to happen. Um, there was a moment where I would have plans for online teaching, plans for in-person teaching, and I didn't know which one I was going to teach with the next day. So just being prepared for all of the unknowns was definitely a challenge. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the articles that we were supposed to read. The first article touched on mindsets. I'm not going to go over each one of them. I will talk about the ones, though, that stuck out with me or that I connected with. At Tanglewood, we are in an open concept school, which means our classrooms have no walls. So there's three teachers. We all teach in the same room, and we're always bouncing ideas off of each other. And I've seen the positive impact it's had on my teaching, being able to always share my ideas, always able to learn from others. So that quote that was listed where it said, the smartest person in the room is always the room. I really connected with that, and I can't wait to share that with the people on my team. Next is the dispositions, which are just the way we react to different situations. Um, all of these I feel like are important dispositions that an educational leader should have. But I think the one that stuck out with me the most was definitely being a learner. I love to learn. I always feel like I'm trying to learn new things. And I liked how it said to switch your mindset from not being just an instructional leader, but a learning leader. As a building leader in the school, you are the person that is leading the learning. And I think that it just has a much more happy feeling whenever you talk about being a learning leader versus an instructional leader. The practices are those skills and strategies that highly effective leaders are doing. The one that really stuck out with me was examining feedback and data. I wrote educational leaders should thrive off of data, which means that we should always be collecting that data, reflecting on that data, and then refining our craft. Like, what do we need to be doing differently to gather and get better data? The principles of ethical leadership, these are just those values that leaders should have. Um, I like the recognizing talents where it talked about maximizing talents. I think that goes back into um, does the building principle know the staff, right? Do they have relations with the staff? Do they know the strengths of their staff? Because once you know their strengths, then you can utilize those strengths and really maximize your what you're doing, maximize what you're doing. And I feel like knowing your staff and understanding their strengths and being able to, I wrote, purposely place them in a position that is more useful to everyone. You want to make sure that where your staff is at is where they belong, right? Are they doing the right things? Are they making those connections? Are they where they should be? This is a reflection on the whole article. This is kind of like my personal reflection on it. And I was reading the articles, both of them. It talked a lot about like building leaders or what building principals should believe or their mindsets. And for me, I felt like they're honestly just good beliefs and mindsets for all people involved in education. Um, I wrote the foundation of my classroom is built around the all students can learn. I think that if only your building leader has that mindset, that's probably not a good thing. I think all people involved in education should have that mindset that all students can learn. I know in my third grade classroom, not everybody learns at the same pace. Not everybody can be challenged the same way, or they may not all learn the same way. But I have that belief that no matter what, every student in that classroom can learn something, whether it be educational or instructional, or it could just be like a new social emotional skill that they're learning. So I feel like what we read about was not just good for building leaders, but I feel like it was a good article for anybody involved in education for sure. The changes that I need to make is probably just working on my confidence. I feel like I'm young in my teaching career. I'm not new, but I'm not a veteran. I still feel like there's so many things that I need to experience, that I need to learn, that I need practice with. And I just don't have that confidence yet. I feel like the more I put myself out there, the more vulnerable I make myself, the more opportunities I have to grow my confidence in the choices that I make. In the article, it talked about that, and I love this. And this was something that really reassured me was that as long as what we're doing and as long as the decisions we're making are best for students, then I can never go wrong. So, as I make that next step or down the road, whenever I put myself in a leadership position, just always reflecting on the fact that if you're struggling with the choice that you made, did you make it for the right reasons? Did you do it to better your students? If you did, then don't stress it. So just confidence. And I think that's going to come with experience and time. And how does this support the educational success and well-being of each student? Well, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Um, if you're if your school has a leader who has these mindsets, these dispositions, these practices, and these ethics and values, your school is going to be successful, right? And that's going to be inspiring for the staff. I know for a fact I would love to work for a principal who has all of these traits. It's going to motivate me to do a better job. It's going to inspire me to want to be a better teacher. So I think it's pretty self explanatory. These are just awesome qualities to have as a leader. So, in summary, my personal reflection on it was I really enjoyed reading these articles. I felt like I finally have an idea now of what does it take to be a building leader. I thought I knew, but clearly I didn't know. There's a lot that I learned through this. I'm now happy that I can challenge myself to put myself in positions where I work on those weaknesses of mine or even capitalizing and maximizing on the strengths that I have. I wrote down here though, simply reading the articles will not make me a better educator or a leader. And I believe that, just reading these articles is one thing. I need to take action and find ways to test my mindset, dispositions, practices, and principles so I'm prepared when the time comes. I think that right now, this is a perfect opportunity to just kind of trial and error, put yourself in positions where it's like, did that work? If it did, great. If it didn't, reflect and refine. So it was a really great article, and I'm excited to continue learning in the course. This last page is just my references page. So yeah, I look forward to hearing everybody's comments.